Good morning, Trevor Houston here. Have you ever been let go from a company? You know, they laid you off, let you go, maybe fired you for some reason or another, and wanted to know, like, how to get through that process, how to let it go yourself, right? How do you get over it? A lot of times there's a grieving process that you go through when you get let go from an employer. And I have a story. I went through a similar situation when I was in my early 20s. I was working for Harley Davidson, and it was such a cool employer. Like, how cool is that, right? To be in your early 20s working for Harley Davidson. I ended up buying one, and I was all excited. I sold them for a few years. And like, I wrapped up my life and identity into that position. It was, you know, like, Harley Davidson's kind of a lifestyle, right? So, I mean, I was riding all the time on my motorcycle and just kind of got into that whole lifestyle. And then the company had a very, very toxic culture. It was not very professional, I can tell you that. And I was there, and the owner of the company was not the most professional. He was letting go. It was 2008, 2009 time frame when the economy was doing bad and motorcycles weren't really selling. So he let me go and found a reason to do it. He was trying to get away from having to do unemployment. And so he would literally try to find reasons. And it's a long story. I could go into more detail later if you hit me up in the comments. But I got let go. And no reason of my own, they let me go and tried to frame a story on me like I was doing something that I wasn't doing. And I took it really, really hard. It was one of those times where you're just like, man, it hits you right in the gut. And like, how do I get over this? You know? And a couple things I want to talk about today. The first thing is, you have to get to that point of acceptance. You have to understand that, look, it is what it is. It is over, right? That there's no going back. That chapter of your life is closed, okay? That acceptance can be a little terrifying because you're like, what's next, right? One of the things I tell people to do is, if you need to cry about it, cry about it, okay? If you need to scream about it, scream about it. Put your head in a pillow, do what you got to do. There's a grieving process you got to go through. So go ahead and put your head in that pillow and scream, yell, cry, whatever you got to do. And if it takes a day, it takes a day. But you know what? You have to give yourself a timeline. The timeline is, okay, I've got a week to grieve on this. I've got a day to grieve on this. I've got whatever your timeline is. Give yourself a timeline. Put it in your calendar. Literally put it in your calendar. And make a decision to get over it. Because what happens is you start to carry all those negative feelings and thoughts in your interviews, in your search, in your life. And the things that you speak out in the world, those become your reality. And so you have to have a decision to get over it. Decision to stop worrying about the negative thoughts, right? To worry about the things you control, which are your attitude and your activity. And if your attitude is negative, your activity will be negative, and you're going to get negative results. But if your activity and attitude are positive, then you're going to get positive results. So first thing is acceptance. You got to get over it. Put it in your calendar. Give yourself, literally say, I'm going to give myself a week. I'm going to give myself a day. Whatever it is for you, a realistic time frame. Don't tell yourself, I'm going to give myself 6 months. No, forget that. And maybe you were working at a company for 20 years. It may be a little tough to get over. That was your identity. We wrap our identities up in our previous employers. But I want to tell you, you're much more than that. Like, your value is much more than a brand. Whatever employer you work for, my identity is much more than Harley Davidson. Now, look, my identity, I ride a Harley, but my identity is not Harley, right? My identity is much more than that. The value that I bring to the world is much more than that. So that's the other thing, is you need to understand that you bring more value to the table than the brand that you worked for. You're much more valuable than that. And understand that everything does happen for a reason. There is a purpose, there's a plan, and you probably were in a position where God is moving you a different direction for a reason. Okay? So start asking the questions. I would highly encourage that, if you're spiritual in any way, that you start asking those questions. Start figuring out what you should be doing. What is your new assignment on this earth? You only have so much time. And if that's not it, what is? Okay? And this could be your opportunity. So that's the way you need to look at this, is opportunity. Don't look at this as, oh my gosh, I got let go. You need to look at it as opportunity to figure out the next chapter. Right? I want you to think of it this way. Right? God won't give you too much that you can't handle. He's got you through everything else in your life. And He'll get you through this chapter as well. Who's the author of your book, of your story? Who's the author of it all? Go to Him. I would highly encourage you, take this time to reflect, ask the right questions. God, what is my assignment? What should I be doing? Help me, right? Sometimes when we're nice and cozy and comfortable at our old employers, things are going great, we forget who the author of it all is. And this is now definitely an opportunity for you to get your relationship back right with Him, to figure out what the next chapter looks like, to get some guidance, to get some help. Plug into your local church. If you're not part of one, I would highly encourage that. It's an opportunity for you to network too. When you attend a local church, you build relationships with people, and you have some commonality, right? And people are there to help and support and encourage, and they have a lot of ministries, they have a lot of job networking groups, and they have a lot of different things going on. I would highly encourage you to plug into your local church, build some relationships, go to the man who's the author of it all, and ask the right questions. And I promise you'll start to find that things will start to change. If you're down and out, and you're like, man, why did this happen to me? God will give you the answers. And once you finally land that job, that purposeful dream job, you're going to look back at this situation and go, man, I cannot believe it. Like, wow, there was a purpose here. This happened for a reason. Okay? So guys, I hope this is encouraging. I hope it lifts you up. If you're having a dark day today, go to the man who sent you. Go to the author of it all. And I promise you, He has some answers for you. Go to Him. Okay? Love to hear your comments down below. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.